what is up? Welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I am going to be talking about 10 habits that have really impacted my life. And I tried to be very realistic about these healthy habits. I totally get, like, not everyone has the time. Oh, sorry, my phone just went off. But not everyone has the time to work out 4 or 5 days a week. Like, I totally get it. Like, I don't either. Like, I don't work out 5 days a week. So, I just try to be very realistic with these healthy habits, and hopefully you guys can implement them in 2019. Also, before we hop into the video, I just want to say, I totally get that Christmas has passed, but I am so obsessed with my background and I just love it so much, and the whole time during Vlogmas I really didn't even get to use it. I only filmed like maybe 2 videos with this background. This is staying until probably like the end of January. And in February, I'll switch it out. Maybe I'll do something like Valentine's Day theme or something. But getting back on topic, we are gonna go ahead and hop into the very first healthy habit. The very first one is probably so cliche and you're probably gonna hate me for even saying it, but it's drinking more water than you probably are right now. One thing that I started doing was carrying around a gallon of water a day. And I know it sounds stupid and it kind of sounds crazy because you're like, how can you drink a whole gallon of water? But when you have a gallon of water with you, everywhere you go, you would be surprised how much water you actually drink in a day. Going along with the first one, number 2 is pretty self-explanatory, and it's kind of like a no-duh situation, but just don't smoke, ever. Just make sure that you just don't do it. The third tip would be getting into the habit of parking farther away. I know when I was in college, I hated parking farther away from my classes. I would literally wait for like students to come to their cars so I could take their parking spot, when in reality that took just as much time as if I would have just like went to like the farther lot and just actually parked. But for some reason I was just like, no, I need to park close. Like, no, get into the habit of parking farther away, and then that way you kind of like work in more exercise and you get more of your steps for the day. The fourth one is to get a vitamin or a probiotic or a multivitamin. Whenever I wake up in the morning, I always take a women's like multivitamin, I take a probiotic, and I also take B12. B12 actually has actually been my saving grace because I'm always just so tired and so like fatigued, and I like couldn't figure out like what it was, and it was actually because I am vitamin B12 deficient. So by taking those pills, it like really helped me out. The fifth one is to cook at home, which is so hard. Like, it's literally so hard. But whenever you go out to restaurants, like, I'm not even just talking like fast food. Like, I'm just talking like restaurants in general, which is so hard because in our society, like, that's the thing to do. If you want to hang out with your friends, you go out to eat. But you kind of have to get aware that you don't know what's in the food that you're eating. Even when there's like, even when they list the ingredients, they're still not telling you everything that's in it. They're not telling you how much oil is going into like onto the pan. They're not telling you how much salt they're putting on. They're just like not telling you any of that. And I think you need to realize they're in the business of selling you food, so they're not, you know, although maybe on the menu it says like 300 calories, like I said, you don't know how much salt they put on it. You don't know how much, you know, they might have put triple the dressing that they usually do. Like, you can't really rely on the calorie count that they tell you on the menu. Maybe instead of, you know, you and your girls going out to, you know, a restaurant, why don't you just like invite them all over and maybe you can cook dinner there. Going along with that one, it is a very good and healthy habit to just sort of start looking at the ingredients on the back of like the foods that you buy. You know, if there's a gigantic paragraph of all of these ingredients, it's probably not the best thing for you. Rule of thumb, less ingredients, the better it probably is for you. Healthy habit number 7 is a really good habit to get into because it's really hard to, like, for me, I would always compare what I ate to what other people are eating. So like my roommate, for example, she's totally gonna watch this video and be like, wow, thanks, Court. But she is so thin, and I would watch her eat, like she can eat an entire pizza, or she can eat like an entire tray of tater tots. And it's like, sometimes I compare myself and I'm like, well, how are you so thin and you can eat that stuff, but yet if I do it, I like bloat up. Well, you have to stop comparing yourself to others and what they're eating, because every body is different. And for me, I have a bunch of food intolerances. So yeah, she can eat a pizza and I can eat a pizza, but I'm gonna get sick from that pizza because I'm not supposed to be eating gluten and I'm not supposed to be eating cheese, but yet she could eat them and we're two different people. And that's one thing that I really just had to learn is you cannot compare yourself to other people because everyone's body is different and everyone's metabolism is different. Healthy habit number 8, sorry, my finger slipped, 8. There we go. Would be to find an exercise that you actually like. So maybe go walk on the treadmill or the elliptical and just watch YouTube videos. Or maybe you like ab workouts. So like sit on your floor and like watch Netflix and just do some ab workouts. Or maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe you sign up for a class or a Zumba class, or maybe your work is like doing a marathon or like a 5K. I don't know, just figure out some sort of way, a fun way to get active. This one has saved my life. I'm not kidding you, this one actually is awesome. So if you can manage to start going to bed at a consistent time and waking up at a consistent time, I'm not saying like go to bed at like 10 and then wake up at 6 a.m., but that's actually one thing that I've been wanting to do. Now granted, I'm gonna tell you, I go to bed around 10-ish, sometimes at 10:30, but like if I go to bed at 10, I wake up at 6. Or if I go to bed at 10:30, I wake up at 6:30. So it's like, it's around that time, and because I have a consistent schedule, it is amazing, and I feel so much more awake, and you really have to train yourself to do it, but once you do it, it's amazing. And the 10th healthy habit that has really helped me is being cautious of the foods that I have in the house, because if I have a lot of junk food in the house, I'm going to eat it. Yeah, it's really that simple. So I just try to stay away from buying food, even like the healthy snack foods. I just try to like cut it out and just sort of avoid it, because if I have veggie chips in the house, I will eat them. If I have dairy-free ice cream, I will eat it. So if I am, like let's say I'm like craving chips or something and I go out there and all I have is like soups and salads and I don't know, just like more healthier options, I might, instead of having a bowl of chips, I might have a bowl of soup. And there's a big difference in nutritional value. And that was it for today's video. I hope that these are tips that you can sort of implement into your own life. Like I said, I think that they're pretty easy. They weren't super hard for me to incorporate into my own life. So I feel like it should be pretty easy for you guys to incorporate into your own lives. But I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to go ahead and do that. It's down there somewhere. Also, leave a comment letting me know, what would you say is a healthy habit that every single person should incorporate into their everyday life? I would love to hear what your guys' suggestions are down below. Also, if you didn't give this a big thumbs up, be sure to do that.